If you saw the little clip, I did a small video on some of my trying to organize, and I thought I was going to jump into my Hexagon video. We're going to do this spring stripes. This is saying 6 colors. These are suggestions. I thought I had a video ready, and I went to post it. It's going through it, and somehow I didn't record the end of it. Yeah, so it was this one. This is all Dollar Tree yarn that I had. I was just showing how to do that, and it turned out good, except for you guys didn't get to see the end of it. So we are going to just do a solid one, just so to show you the stitches, because this one, I tell you what, it says beginner, and I have had an easier time doing the intermediate ones or experienced ones, because this was my first one, and let's just, somehow I got off count, and I figured it out. I wasn't doing this side. If you look at it, the sides are not right. The first half, they're great, but on my decrease, somehow I got it off. So that was my first one, and then I went ahead and did one in this, just mainly because I wanted to practice and to make sure I did it right. It is one of those that I have to definitely count to make sure I'm doing the right amount or I'm not missing a stitch. And I actually love this one. I might just use this as a little cloth, washcloth, or thing, because I love the texture of this. This is I'd have to try to find it. This was just ends of some yarn, but it's not a full cotton, but I think it's a cotton blend. I really like that. I love the feel of it. I'm going to have to go to Hobby Lobby and see if I can find this again, if they still have it, and see if I can get some more of it, because this is my favorite. So we did use the Hobby Lobby yarn. This is mainly polyester with 10% acrylic, and it's cute. It's like a little baby color. This just happens to be the colors I bought. This was something else, but we are just going to make a solid one, just so we can go through the steps. This kind of gives you the idea of what we can do. Let me get this moved away. As far as yarn, I have the blue left out from that I used in the stripes. Probably use this one up. Let's do that. And you can do this any combination. You can do, I mean, it calls for 6. You can do it in a 2. You can work it out to be whatever you want it to be. This has got a speckled. We'll see how that goes. So this won't, as I said, it's not a difficult one, but it is one that I would say for at least myself, I had to count. So we're going to start with a slip knot. I love watching different people make their slip knots, because everybody has their way. So I'm going to just make 15. Or hold on, I'm going to put my yarn in my yarn bowl. Get this one out. Trade it with this one. I can't believe I lost all that video. Oh, I lost the end of that video. Have you ever done that before? It's just kind of disheartening. It's okay. We'll handle it. But I'm going to make this to 15, and we'll catch right back up. And if you want to make it a different size, I would imagine if you did even a number +1, because the 15th is actually going to be our turn chain. So if you were wanting to make this, I kind of want to know what it would be like to make like a blanket size. Do the math and see what you would need. All right, so on our first row, as we're going up, we're going to increase. So that means our first stitch space here is going to get 2 single crochets. We are only using single crochets besides our turning chains. Okay, and then it's just a single crochet all the way across. I'm sitting here trying to remember what I was talking about in the other video. I was just kind of chatting, and one was TV shows I was watching. I have to have some kind of noise in the background when I just have to have noise in the background. I don't know if it's the living alone or just everybody gone thing, but if there's no one else in the house, it drives me crazy to have it quiet. When there's someone here, it's not so bad, because if there's noise in the background. Okay, so now you can count your first row. I like counting the next one because it's we're going to end with 2 double crochets. I'll explain that when we get there. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn. Now, of course, doing it with just 1 yarn, you're not going to have to, you just continue it. So this one, we are just going to do single crochets all the way across, no increase. So if you want to count this one, and you should have 14. When you get to the end. So let's catch up on that. We'll see you in a minute. It's not so bad as you climb, but this one can be tricky. That last stitch is kind of rounded to the edge, but you want to make sure you catch it. So this row, the second row, you started with 14 in your chain. This row of all just single crochets should be the 16. So every 2 rows you're going to, climb up to 18. Wait a minute, is that right? Yeah, 18 every 2. All right, so we're going to chain 1. Now, if you're changing colors like we did here, this is when you're going to want to do that. So you get your increase row, a row of single crochets, and then this is where you would change your color on your increase row. That's the one you're going to be changing your colors for, and you're going to be doing that for 2 rows, just in case you want to do the stripes. And we're always starting off with chain 2 on this row. And then if you're counting, this one should have 18. Okay, so I'll see you at the end, and we'll turn. Okay, so that I ended with my double, no, not my double, but my 2 single crochets in the space. Now, because I'm doing singles, or 1 color, we're not going to go through every row, because I don't know if you guys would want to watch all of that, but just know that we have 1 increase row. This is my all single crochets all the way across. Then my next one is going to be my increase row. So every other one is what you're going to do. Now for this one, it's my second row that just all single crochets. So I'm going to meet back up with you when we get to the midpoint, and that's going to be where the 28 stitches in our row. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys, if you're going to work on it, go ahead and work on that. Remember, if you're changing colors, we do that every 2 rows. And right now that's our increase row. We want to make sure we add our new color on our increase row. So as I said, this is just our regular single crochet, and always make sure you're catching your last one. Sometimes it rolls into the edge and it doesn't look like it's there. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll see you in a minute. Just pop it in to say that it might help to put a stitch marker in your increase row. That way you, especially if you're doing a solid, because it could get maybe confusing. So that was my increase row. I'm going to leave my stitch marker there, and then I'm going to, now I know this is just going to be the single crochet all the way across, and I'll know when I get done. I'm going to put it of course on the other side when I start, but I just wanted to show that might help if you're, especially if you're using all just one color or one type of yarn. When you're changing colors, it's a little bit easier, but this might be a little way of helping out. So okay guys, I'll see you here in a little bit. Just a little update. This is what we're looking like so far. I'm just putting this at the beginning of my row increase. And I believe I am on, what was I on? I think 7 and 8. So we are getting closer to the middle. But I just wanted to kind of get you an update to see what it looks like. Your edges. I think using a solid color, the edges look cleaner. Either that or I need to learn how to join my yarn a little bit neater. Alright, so that is so far, and we'll be right back at midpoint. Okay guys, this is the 28th row. I got carried away and I just started to keep on. So when you reach the 28 on your increase, now this was my increase row, so there's 2 in this spot. What we're going to do, we're going to start decreasing, and I'm going to do what I did before on my decrease row. I'm going to put the little marker, that way I know that's what we're supposed to be doing. So to decrease, we're going to go chain 2 together, single crochets. So we're going to bring our yarn through, but we're going to go to the next stitch and do the same thing. So we should have 3 loops on our hook, and we're going to put those together, and then we're just going to go across like we have been until the last 2 stitches, and then we're going to chain them together. So on this one, instead of putting 2 stitches in the beginning of our row to increase, we are going to start doing the last 2 stitches and chaining them together with a chain 2 together single crochet. So let me get back to this end and we'll do that again. Okay, so we're at the end. And did I mark that? You know what? I did not. So we're going to go back and mark that first stitch, just so I know that's my beginning of my decrease. And we're going to take our first, and then our last, or second to the last rather. We should have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over and bring it all the way through, and that's going to be our chain together. Now the next row is going to be like it has been before. Every other row is just a single crochet all the way across. So we can see we have 3 sides. We got half of our hexagon here. And now let's go ahead and just do single crochet all the way across. And then I'm going to show you the decrease one more time on both sides, and then we'll just finish up. Again, counting always helps. This row should have 20, oh my goodness, 24. Nope, 26. Okay, we will see you at the end and to do the chain 2 together. Okay, had to go find me another stitch marker. I've dropped mine and I can't find it. We'll find it later. So we're back to a decrease row. So we're going to go into the first and then the second. And then we're going to chain those together, and then we're just going to continue to the end. I'm going to do it again because I'm not quite sure if I was in frame. I'm trying to work on that. That's why we have the butterfly, and my camera is not centered on that. So here we go. I must have moved it when I was looking for the marker. Okay, so we're going to go into our first stitch, get our yarn just like we're going to make a single crochet, but we're just going to go the next one too. You should have 3 loops on your hook and chain them together. And then we're just going to go to the, we reached the last 2 stitches at the end, and then we're going to do that again. So I'll see you there. Okay, we're nearing the end. I was just thinking how much shorter this video is because I'm not changing colors. So I hope that's okay. Now we're down to the last 2 stitches. Wait a minute. Yeah. Well. Okay, now I'm kind of worried. Alright, let me go back and count and see if I have the right row. I'll be right back. Okay, I was at the right one. When I lost my stitch marker, I was getting a little worried that I had skipped a row. So this is our chain 2 together. Remember that last one can be a bit difficult. So but we grab those, chain 1, we turn, and now we're going to start just a row of regular single crochets all the way across. And this is what it is all the way to the end. Now I had 24 on this one, so this one should have had the 22 if you're counting as you crochet, because remember we decreased it by 2 stitches. And that way it helps you know that you have the right amount of number of stitches in your decrease. It's always even, by the way, so if that helps. Alright, I am just going to pause it until we build up till our last row, because that's all you're going to do. You're just going to decrease every other row and then single crochet all the way across the other rows. If you're using a stitch marker, then you know exactly which rows you're decreasing. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we're down to the last 2. This is our last decrease row. So we're going to do that here. If we have counted right, and I am, should be 14. So there's 1, of course we're going to decrease on this side. And then our next row is just a row of single crochets, and then we'll be done. So I'll be right back with the finished product. This is the last 2 stitches, 13 and 14. We're going to just clip this real quick and we'll give a good look. Okay, so here we go. This is our hexagon, and as you can see, if you made it out of the same type of yarn, you could put them together and that would make kind of a pretty baby blanket, wouldn't it? Alright, so thank you for watching. Sorry this one didn't turn out. I know that some, trying to add in the yarn, but you can make it striped or you can make it solid. Make sure you just end and start, or start and end with the same amount of stitches. And I hope this helps you with the increase and decrease of this hexagon. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I will be talking to you guys later. Bye for now. Again, thank you for watching.